Hey guys, Eric here. So today I'm gonna share how I built this platform to stack my newish dryer, 6 months old really, from Samsung, stacking it on top of an LG washer. So let's have a look. So if you're wondering why I'm even doing this, I had a pair of washer and dryer from Samsung that was delivered about 6 months ago, brand new, and we bought it from Best Buy. The washer just died on us last week. Samsung repair tech said, he started taking things apart. He said, "Oh, this is broken, that's broken," and this just at some point he just said like 10 minutes, and he's like, "It's not worth fixing." So, if you want my whole experience on that, check out my other video. But yeah, so a couple of things I want to share that I thought was key to learn as I was building this thing. Number one. A lot of these washers are 27 inches wide, but what you'll learn is that, as you can see here, there's a gap right there, and there's a gap right there, and it's not the piece of wood that's warped, it's the dryer, the machine that bowls out. So when I took that into consideration, the unit was really closer to 27 and a half, maybe a little proud of that. So I built this opening from here to here. I built that to be 28 inches interior, and then that actually helps quite a bit for wiggling it in, just like pushing it in, and then also just giving it a little bit of space to vibrate. So as you can see right now, both of the washer and dryers are on. This is not the final form yet. I still want to add a little bit more reinforcement, but as you can see, there's a little bit of vibration right there, and that's mostly happening from this right here. The back has already been reinforced, but the front I think can use a little bit more reinforcement. It's moving side to side, and as you can imagine, the spinning is done left and right. So that's how the movement is happening right now. So let's take a look. Let me zoom out a little bit, and then I'll try to take you to the back. It's really tight back there, but we'll try. So that's a 2x4 going straight to the top. That's a 2x4 stopping in the middle, and I wanted this piece to sit on top of this 2x4 because I wanted the weight transfer going straight down. And if there's anything I've learned from building this thing, it's that the weight transfer going down is fine. I've got a 2x here. I have some leftover pieces here, so I added some more in between. This here, this is screwed in from the bottom and top. And that's screwed in from the top and bottom again. Now, let me try to squeeze myself back here. Okay. So, and then here, what you're seeing is another 2x going straight across. And this is the stacking kit that we had from Samsung. So they don't sell stacking kits for mismatched units because I guess liability reasons or whatever, or no one, it's maybe too small of a market for them to even address. But yeah, since we only get a refund for the washer and not the dryer, even though they were purchased as a set, we're kind of stuck with this. And we didn't want to go buy a new dryer when we have a perfectly fine one. So we're using this stacking kit from Samsung, and you see right there, it's really just a couple of screws, and I don't know if they are the most robust. I mean, I know they're not the most robust brackets, because the other kits that we had from the past from LG and a different washer we had in the past, it was a channel that goes forward and backward, and then it locks the foot in the front. And in this case, it was just relying on a couple of screws right here. So that's why I want to reinforce it. But yeah, so because we decided to use this bracket, we had to offset the washer platform or the dryer platform from the dryer itself. So this comes back, that all is fine. But in hindsight, if I were to rebuild this again, I probably would have gone with a thicker piece of wood here, maybe even a 2x6. have that jut out farther in the back, and then rather than mounting this piece flush, recess it in more to fit whatever that is. And the reason I want to do that is because I want this piece of wood to actually come out farther this way. I want it to come out farther so I can meet the back of the unit and then allow myself room and opportunity to mount these diagonal braces. So right now, because of the spinning movement on the left and right side, if I didn't have these diagonal braces, this thing would vibrate a lot more. So that's one thing I definitely want to address. I'm going to add another brace down underneath at the floor level, right beneath the bulge of this back of the washer. I have enough room to stick another wood piece straight across, so that's what I'm going to do there. And then originally in my design, I had a couple of diagonal braces this way, but I'm learning that I probably don't need it because the movement is not front and back. The movement is side to side. So, and then as far as earthquake proofing this a little bit, not a little bit, a lot, because we live in a country. So this here I've learned from my ovens and refrigerator installations in the past. I've seen installers and actually manufacturers recommending that we add a wood block, screw it to the wall, above a refrigerator that is really tall. So to prevent it from tilting over in an earthquake or something, if you have a blocking on top that's screwed to the wall, let's say a 4x4 or a 2x4 even, that will help it from tipping over in the front. So essentially that's what I've done here. I put a piece of wood on top and I just screwed it in from above and I glued it as well. Hopefully that adds a little bit of rigidity. So that's what I have in mind there. I do want to add a little more in the front. The reason I didn't start out with this front piece going all the way to the top also, two reasons. One, I thought it looked really bulky. And two, like I said, I wanted at least one of these platforms, one of these legs to be supporting the horizontal wood piece rather than relying completely on the screws like I am here in the back. These are just screws to the back and screw from the side. So really, they're not dadoed in or anything. So I wanted to have some weight transfer going straight to the floor. So yeah, I probably could have notched some of the wood pieces here and then try to recess some of these joints, but then I thought it was just too complicated, especially with two sides having to come together to a vertical piece. So and also in the back I figured it was easier for me to add these diagonal braces. So yeah, right now what's next is I'm gonna have to add a couple more pieces. One is I'm going to add a diagonal piece, actually not even a diagonal piece, I'm just going to add a 2x6 going straight across. One that will cover all of these joints, but two, the most important reason is all of this flexing and vibration is happening right here on the two sides. So what I want to do is basically help remove that. Oops, sorry, I'm touching the button there. What I want to do is help remove that by taking away that flex. So let me grab a piece 2x5, 2x6. So if you can see from the side here, so by doing this, it will help remove that the flex. I'll put a screw in here and a screw there, and I'm trying to maximize the size of this triangle. And by doing that, I think that will make it a lot more stable. And then third reason why I want to do this is I want to have this stick out higher than the platform that I built so that I can lock in that front leg. So that's the thinking. The other thing I'm going to do is add a diagonal brace this way and add a diagonal brace this way. So that's so I feel a little safer from whatever reasons. Like if this thing was to spin out of control, then at least I have more than just this piece right here, and more than just that piece on top. I want something to help protect this thing, if you will, and lock it in place. Let's talk about the plywood a little bit. So I could have just built a frame on the sides and on the back. I could have just built a frame and no plywood, but then that would rely on me being perfectly aligned from the device leg itself to the 2x4, and I didn't want to take that chance. So I figure if we have a piece of plywood platform, should this thing slide a little bit at all, which we knew was going to happen when we're moving it in and out, it made life a lot easier. But also when this thing is drying, and if it vibrates a little bit and it's moving, there's no chance that it's going to fall off the stud, if you will, because of this whole platform. Those are my thoughts on this. Really not too ideal as a platform to build, because one, it was it was a pain in the neck to build, and it was heavy moving these things around. But two, from a day-to-day practical standpoint, I'm 6 feet tall. My wife is not, and this now, it's a bit of a reach. So I can reach up to 8 foot all the way straight up, but I'm not gonna try to reach a washer and dryer at 8 feet, right? So at an angle, and I'm standing, about a foot or so, maybe a foot and a half away from the unit, I'm definitely tilting my head to look at the buttons, and I sometimes have to, like, right now, I guess it's bright enough, but I probably take a step back, maybe even tiptoe, to see if these flashing, I'm sticking my phone up here, so to see if these flashing lights are pointing to the right place. But yeah, all that to say, right now we've added about 5 inches in height from what it would have been if it was a normal stacking kit originally from the factory. But it is what it is. I guess until this Samsung dryer craps out too, and we're getting a new one to match this perfect pair, this is what we're gonna have. All right, I hope this is helpful for somebody out there. Sucks if you have to do it too. Also, I guess I'll just leave you with my parts list if you want. I've used 6 pieces of 2x4 so far, and I'm probably gonna have to buy another couple pieces of either plywood or 2x6. I'll see what scrap materials I have. But yeah, 6 pieces of 2x4s, and I have a leftover piece of plywood. Dimension for this was 31 by 25. Plus or minus. I think I trimmed up about an inch in the back, and then obviously we cut these notches. All right, take care.